You are tuning in to the You Are Loved podcast, where we hope to bring love and kindness to the world.
Welcome to another You Are Loved podcast, where we have the amazing Rhonda joining us today. Miss Rhonda Rogers is a strong advocate for high quality educational services for vulnerable populations. She's a successful nonprofit leader and has provided consulting services for individuals and organizations in their business and personal lives. She is currently the founder and executive director of Rhonda's Promise, Inc., a nonprofit organization that she has founded in 2021 to help connect women and girls of all stages with resources and skills to enhance their lives through education and life skills. She strives to make the Rhonda's Promise, Inc., the strongest advocate for the women and girls. Ms. Rogers specializes in developing and overseeing new and innovative youth programs, which provide a wide variety of academic mentoring and social skills for adults and children. She's a nonprofit consultant and leadership coach. Ms. Rogers is committed to families, children, and youth, and to high-quality programs that span a period of 32 years. Ms. Rogers is the treasurer of Leadership Palm Beach County, a member of South Palm Beach County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc., the Women's Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County, the Executive Women of the Palm Beaches Foundation, Inc., and Women United through the United Way of Palm Beach County. To share her 32 years of nonprofit experience, Ms. Rogers launched Rhonda Consult, a consulting partner that takes the pressure from you so you do not have to try to do everything. Ms. Rogers received a Bachelor's of Science degree in Organizational Management, cum laude, with Palm Beach Atlantic University with a concentration in Human Resource Management. She's earned her Certified Program Planner certification from the Learn Institute. Ms. Rogers has received numerous awards and honors. She's received the National Jefferson Award, Women's Chamber of Commerce, Giraffe Award, Palm Beach State College's Martin Luther King Jr. Alumni Community Service Award, and South Florida's most influential and powerful Black professionals honor her for community service and leadership. Welcome, Rhonda. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you so much. You make me sound so good. Can I take you everywhere I go?
Well, that was your bio, so. So no, that's amazing. So what is exactly that you do, like within your nonprofit? Like, do you guys put the programs on? Do you like what exactly do you guys do there?
Yes, we implement, we plan, and we get them funded. So Rhonda's Promise is almost a 5-year organization. July 12th, we'll be celebrating our 5-year anniversary. And I founded it under the principles of working with women, girls, and senior citizens, specifically here in South Palm Beach County. So we provide mentoring program for our teen girls in middle and high school. Every Tuesday, we meet with our senior club, 62 and older. We come together to do educational workshops. Like tomorrow, we're going to be doing something on dementia and signs of dementia. And then we also have our mental health program called Hey Sisters. And that's when we really talk about our mental health and our wellness. This past May, we had our second cruise, women's empowerment cruise. And what that is really I bring in women throughout the United States and abroad to present as speakers for the ladies on the cruise ship. And so we actually have a full-fledged conference while we're also sailing and enjoying. And I always get a good fun activity in there. We always do a community service project there. So next year will be our 3rd annual. So anybody listening, we would love to have you the first week in May on our women's cruise to really kind of help you refocus, reset, and get re-energized for this crazy world we're living in right now.
Okay. I think that's amazing. Hold on a second. So I think that's amazing. And then you do consulting for other nonprofits as well to help them get going. And then so where do you guys host these programs at? Do you host them in your office? Do you host them at other nonprofits, like at schools? Like, where do you do that?
We come to you. We're completely in the community. So we don't have a brick and mortar right now. I host my senior group every Tuesday at the center called the Parish Hall, which is a part of a St. Matthew's Church. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of things at the Aloft Hotel in Delray. They're good for us. And my major partner is the City of Delray Beach Library. So we've hosted several events. Our partnership, we get the space for free.
Oh, that's great. I
Mhm.
did a lot of networking events and stuff like that. That I hosted a bunch of workshops and everything at the Library Systems in Atlanta.
Yes.
We hosted like over 72 different business workshops with them.
And it's a beautiful library,
Yeah.
two stories, and so many people in and out. So it actually gives us great exposure to be there because everybody doesn't know what you're doing. So I always bring marketing materials with me. So if anyone is doing, I'm able to explain what Rhonda's Promise does, and we pretty much cover the whole entire family from, like I said, the teen girls up until senior citizens.
Okay, that's exciting. Now, you've spent more than 30 years serving families, children, and vulnerable populations. Like, looking back, what do you think was the moment that made you realize your life would be dedicated to helping others?
Actually was a banker. So I started my career actually as a teller, and then I moved up to customer service rep. But then I got married and got pregnant. I had a high risk pregnancy. And at the time,
Mm,
my best friend was working at a former nonprofit that we both worked our way through college at, which was Florence Fuller Child Development Center in Boca Raton. And so when I went off for my high risk pregnancy, I she said answer the phones, just do a couple of days a week. And I reached out to leadership and they hired me. And so once working back there day to day and learning from great CEOs like Mary Dent Maher, those ladies there and different folks within that system
hmm
allowed me to give back. And I found my passion. I was able to develop programming, be our first after school director, and really work with the youth. And so from there on, I just took off working with funders because I've been on both sides of the aisle. So I've done programs to live Children's Service Council of Palm Beach County here, which is a major funder, and
hmm
grants and awarding grants and monitoring grants. So I know what those grantors want, what they're looking for, and how important data is, data collection and survey. So my passion really came from that time at Florence Fuller Child Development Center, and then continuing on with CSC. And it kind of all led, if you watch my history and it kind of all led up to Rhonda's Promise.
Okay, nice. No, that yeah, it's like it's interesting how God just kind of starts to line everything up from one
Yeah,
experience to another, you know?
exactly. It was perfect timing for sure.
So, have you heard of like the Mary's Fund? I believe that they are here in Florida and then they help raise funds for all different types of nonprofits that
No, I would love to be
serve.
connected because that's my majority of my time is spent about 50-50 with programming, the program development and implementation, and 50% fundraiser because I am the only consultant paid staff, amazing women who are my board volunteers, but they work full time. So it's just
Mhm.
me that dedicates my time to this. So if there's anything you can provide me a contact or anyone listening who will be interested in partnering or providing funding or support, I'm here for it.
Okay, great. So yeah, so I will just remind after. So
Yes,
hopefully after we're here today, you and I can just set up a call.
that would be
Uh,
great.
yeah. Okay. So now you founded the Rhonda's Promise to help women and girls build stronger futures. Like in your view, what are some of the biggest challenges women are facing today that aren't being talked about enough?
I think some of our biggest challenges is just getting access. Well, we're not talked, we don't really talk about everybody doesn't have the same level of playing field and just being access to different grants and opportunities and being in the same room when those type of decisions are being made. And so that's really what I try to do is try to find ways for Rhonda's Promise to be at that table or if not building a table amongst people that I know that can make things happen and make things change. So I think right now our biggest problem is really having access in an equal playing field.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess it all kind of depends on who we make the decision to surround ourselves with and continue to network and
Oh yeah.
build that up for sure.
Mhm.
So, what do you think is probably like, uh, is it, let me see here. What concerns you think for like the next generation of young women? Like, what concerns you most about that? Like with the
Social
access
media,
and all
too
that
much
stuff?
social media, and they're being
Yeah.
influenced by what they see. instead of
Yeah.
really being meeting with women. That's why I also offer the mentoring program so that they can really work side by side with the nurses or learn, I always ask the girls if they know what they want to be. And if they do, we try to bring those women to, if they want to be an attorney, I bring women in the
Mm-hmm.
legal field. If they want to be in medical, so I always try to give them access, because right now they really all want to be a Cardi B, or they always want to be a Kai Cenat and influencers, because they see it as quick money and the fame and the glory, and they don't even know what those folks probably go through to get where they are. So
Yeah.
I really think that that's what's important. That we all aren't going to be the LeBron Jameses, but we could probably be his agent, his sports agent, and look at all the different other positions and things within that arena. So.
Yeah.
mm,
No, that's awesome. So going over the years, and you've seen people that you've mentored that have stuck with it, those that haven't stuck with it, and maybe like their lives went in different directions. What do you think separates the individuals who transform their lives from those who remain stuck despite having access to the same support and resources?
Willingness and determination. You got to
Yeah.
want this. You got to stick with it. You got to wake up with it and have a passion for it. That's really the main difference. We give the same coaching to two, like you said, two different individuals. One will take the ball and run with it. The other
Mm-hmm.
wants to be hand fed. And anytime an obstacle will come, they fall off to the wayside, or they're doing something different. It's, the person that doesn't stick with anything for more than a month, and then you're trying something else again, throwing something out there to see what sticks. So for me, that's what I've been able to say, whether it's women or young girls that I've mentored, because I've mentored both, and
Mm.
that's when my success stories have really have been the ones who are tenacious and really stick with it, and come back and expand their mentorship. Maybe I can give them one piece, but it's okay to have two and three other different mentors to do different things. You know, Now, all of us bring something different to the table, so it's okay to have more than one mentor.
Yeah. We all have gifts, so it's like, just bringing that specific gift, yeah, to the table and helping us strengthen that part of ourselves, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my business partner, she's amazing at, creativity, seeing, like, an outline, I'll put something together, and she turns it into this beautiful
Yeah.
piece, you know?
And I
Like,
love those people, because that's not my
yeah.
niche either. And that's what happens. I love my website. I love all my marketing materials, because that's the same thing with me. I outsource it to a person who knows what she's doing and has constantly kept Rhonda's Promise brand going for
Mhm.
over 5 years.
Okay, nice, nice. And congratulations on hitting a 5-year mark.
Thank
Yeah.
you. July 12th will be our big
Oh,
5 years. So
nice.
we're excited about it. We're also going to host a gala in November here at Benvenuto event hall. So I'm inviting everyone to come out. If you're local, come out
Yeah, send me
for
the information, that would be amazing. So, now you've also, led organizations, launched programs, consulted with leaders. What do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about leadership?
Yeah, this is easy. That this is
Okay.
easy. Leadership is not for the weak. I tell people that all the time, because it's people. And anytime you're in dealing with people, you're dealing with emotions and different personalities and different thoughts. And so to me, I think people step into these roles and then get very upset when things don't work out, because you're not a dictator. This is not a dictatorship. And people have to learn in a leadership role, even within my own nonprofit. This is my nonprofit, but I answer to a board. And I set that structure up to, they still hold me accountable, and making sure that I'm doing what I need to do on the legal side and the professional side, and even holding me accountable to my own brand. And so
Mhm.
that's what I find a lot of times is people think that leadership is very easy. They see you doing something. Oh, if she can do it, I can do it. Well, it's tough over here, and it's not just in my nonprofit, but as well as being a part of different organizations. As you said, I've been president of several nonprofit organizations, and I have a great reputation because I uphold to people to standards, and we make sure we get things accomplished. But it's also collectively that we're getting things accomplished. It's not just I and me. It's us as a team. What can we do?
Mhm. What do you think is probably the biggest lesson that you learned the hard way?
The board development, working
Oh,
with your
okay.
board. That's working with a board of different people, different personalities, and trying to be somewhat the best, I guess, peacemaker,
Mhm.
to bringing everybody back center to what our mission and vision is. But
Yeah.
board development has been always been a thorn in my side, And so it's something that I constantly try to work through and learn and reach out and do some research and meet with people. I constantly seek guidance on the best way to work collectively with people.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. That's hard. And then also picking the right people that are going to see into
Yes.
vision and believe in that, and then want to stay passionate about it and not just think it's exciting to be on the board and then kind of fade off in the background, you know?
Exactly. Or just show up for pictures. I've had a couple of them want to be seen, want to be in the pictures, want their name associated with your organization. But my boards that I've been on are all been working boards.
Yeah.
Which means
Yeah.
you have you're a committee chair, you're doing something, you're invested your money to what is it? Money, talents, and treasures. Talents and treasures.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like what and they should all have like different gifts, so they're all bringing something different to the table that's going to be able to add value,
Right.
knowledge, experience, to the board, which I think is it's a huge responsibility, and I think a lot of times people take that lightly.
They sure do.
Now, speaking of that, you've received numerous awards and recognition throughout your career. Like, how do you personally define success today, and has that definition changed over time?
I define success as longevity. I've been
Mhm.
doing this for a very long time, and I like that folks know me from my various roles, like I said, because they know that I'm not, when I coach and when I do my different meetings or workshops or whatever I'm particularly doing, I come from several different perspectives because I've been there. I've been from a summer camp counselor all the way up to the CEO of the nonprofit. So I can talk to you about all those different phases, and I can bring in my historical knowledge and data to really show you that what I'm talking about is effective. And so that's kind of what I see as my longevity. And that's what folks have done. And what I love about those awards, they were all written by other people who saw something in me and say, hey, I would like to nominate you for this award. And it just touched my heart when someone sees something outside of you and say, I've been
Mhm.
watching you. Social media has done a lot, but I got a lot of my awards before Facebook was really big. And now it's even better, the exposure that we're getting from the various social medias.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I've spoken at one of my friends' calls before. He has the Rice Awards
Mhm.
in Atlanta. That was a really interesting experience. That was always kind of exciting.
Mhm.
That was years ago. Yeah.
So those honors are always good, and it's always great too to get stuff from your peers, like from Palm Beach State College. The
Hmm.
alumni group reached out to me. I did my AA from Palm Beach State, and I've gone back and done different things with them, especially in partnership. So it feels good when your community recognizes what you're doing, and a lot of times, you're brought up in rooms that you're not even in. That's when you know
Yeah.
you're successful, when you're in series in rooms that you're not even sitting in at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's exciting. So what do you think? So coming up in those rooms, doing all that, getting the awards, all that, like, so what do you think is probably the difference between like being successful and then being significant? Because you do have a nonprofit.
Successful to me, when you hear about successful, I think of tangible things. So
Hmm.
we've gotten our grants, we've gotten recognition, like you said. But significance to me is really when I work with my older seniors, and I'm
Mm,
significant to them. They call me and they know, Miss Rhonda, I just took a call today because one needs a contact for breast cancer. Someone in her family is going through breast cancer, and I had a speaker come. And that resonated with her when she heard that. She said, I know who I can go to. Miss Rhonda can get me that information so that I can help another person in my family. So
hmm.
that's how I would define it, as I'm significant when it comes to my program delivery and to the clients and folks that I serve here in Palm Beach County. And I
Mm,
hope that I'm successful to the outward facing folks when they, maybe Google my name or hear of my nonprofit, receiving a 5-year accolade or a proclamation or something like that. So that's how I would define it.
mm. A lot of people, it's crazy. Like a lot of people don't. I take care of both my parents. My mom is with the help of my family, but my mom's fully disabled, and I've spoken about that before in here. And then my dad is in the early stages of vascular dementia, and so now taking over his care, and they're in both two different states, and kind of going back and forth. But a lot of people don't realize like there's a lot of elderly out there that don't have children,
That's right.
or they don't have relationships with their children. And then they're really, I would say, part of like the underserved community because they're vulnerable. They have, and then they don't really know of a lot of the resources. I worked on some projects, some disaster recovery projects after the hurricanes here, and was out just making phone calls to see who for temporary housing and stuff like that for people
Right.
that need it after the hurricane on the West Coast and of Florida. Um, and then just really speaking with a lot of elderly people who either still stuck in their house that was like fully, you know, mold and everything now to not having anywhere to go, and then people taking advantage of them with rent and different things like that and overcharging and trying to
Price
suck out
gouging. Yeah,
resources.
price gouging.
Yep, and then, just not knowing about all the additional resources that were out there for to help with housing and outside of just FEMA, you know? Um, so I did what I could, like, by gathering as soon as someone told me about something, then I would, take a piece. I wrote everything down and then
That's
just
right.
wrote those resources back
So
to
you made your own resource guide. You made
yeah.
your own resource guide.
So, but it was the thing of just like, I was like, dang, I was like, I wish there was, but there's nonprofits out there, but it's like not just that, but like going around and knocking on doors, not just being, hey, we're in the community, come to us, because there was a guy that we was living in a trailer that didn't have any legs,
That's right.
you know, and he was in a wheelchair, and it's like, okay, it's not really easy, for him to get to there to get the help.
Mm-hmm.
And that was I did everything that I could, but I had like my heart went out to them,
Yeah,
you know, and and I was like, dang, I wish there was. So I hope somebody does do that,
that's right.
creates like in disastrous situations like that, just goes and knocks door to door and then has a compilation of all the different nonprofits and resources and all that stuff. And even going to the fact of it's going to take time, but helping to get people set up with that.
No, that's right. And that's what I consider significant. That's exactly what you explained.
Yeah.
That's another one of the programs we do here too. We do a hurricane preparedness for our seniors. So every year I give out hurricane kits and I bring in various trainers and speakers to talk about their plan, their evacuation. We've had folks from FPNL. We've had folks from both county and city municipalities related to firefighters and folks who, on the front line. So I think it's very important for us to do that kind of stuff and provide those resources to our community.
Yeah. Yeah. So now doing all that, like how I'm stating why I hope someone does, like you do that here on the East Coast. The West Coast gets hit a lot more. Or at least recently they have disastrously. But and so we can't do everything, right? So
That's right. We cannot.
this
We
is
have
my
to partner.
thing. Yeah, this is my You Are Loved company, our children's programs. We have one women's program that we have, but we have mainly children's programs, and then my podcast and all that. This is plus taking care of my parents and trying to take care of myself and create income at the same time. It's a lot.
That is.
So now when you do your consulting business, it's built around helping people
Right.
and helping people stop trying to do everything themselves, right?
Mhm.
And I do have an admin and I have a business partner, praise God, because I would not be able to do what they do, right?
Right.
He helps to fill in the areas where I feel emotionally paralyzed at, which is great. Why do you think so many leaders actually struggle with delegation and asking for help?
I think it's because they might have tried it before and sometimes things don't work out. And so then we just give up and take it back. That's what I've heard so many times. I've done what you said, Rhonda. I give it to my secretary, I give it to this one, and then I have to take it back and I find myself correcting it. So we got to talk about direction and what are you actually giving them to do? Are you explaining them how you want it done? Are you showing them ahead of time? Because that's really the number one thing I keep hearing pushback on is I've tried what you said and then it's not right. And then you have to also define what's right. Is it something you can live with? Is it a egregious, big misspellings or things like that? It's going to mess up your branding. We can understand that. But if it's just a simple style thing, then sometimes you have to just kind of, release some of that, that because I work with a lot, being A-type personality and working with a lot of A-type personalities. That is the biggest thing I always hear about. is when I ask people to delegate and why are you not delegating? And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I hear. And I have done it myself. I have done it myself, but these are things tried and true that I had to just say and do a woosah. It's like, can I live with it or can I not live with it? And you have to make that determination. With my coaching, I do a lot of one-on-one, sitting down with C-suite CEOs, talking about
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing and really staff development from them to staff, like being a mediator, a lot of times doing surveys for them, finding out what their staff thinks and how their staff feels. And then I also have mid-level manager type folks who want to be the C-suite. They want to get to that next step. So they're asking for coaching and information on how I went from this level to that level and just my different interactions and things that I put in place in order to move from being a director to being invited to apply to be a CEO for another nonprofit. So those are type of things that I do, and that's one of my big things that we work a lot on is delegation and determining what's going to make you feel more comfortable and everybody, because that can be pain points on both sides, you as a leader as well as the staff that you're delegating to.
Okay. So imagine one of the young girls impacted by Rhonda's promise is listening today. Okay. What do you hope she learns from your story that helps her navigate her own journey?
That Miss Rhonda is from the same background and the same place I am from, and that she
Mm-hmm.
was able to make it and make her dreams come true. Rhonda's promise is my biggest dream. At now almost 57 years old, I would never thought that younger Rhonda would be doing this right now.
Mm.
My life was on a whole different path. I thought I was going to be a banker and really go on that whole side. And then, like you said, one life change of me having my son and going to work in childcare, God saw a different vision for me. And I've been on that trajectory all 32 years, basically, of his life, of my son's life. That's my oldest son's age.
Mm.
And so I want them to say in me that they can really see and learn that their dream can come to fruition. It doesn't have to be a nonprofit leader. It could be, like I said, that nurse. So we line you up with what you need, your education. If you need sponsorships, if you have the funds to go through school, what do you need? You just need encouragement. You need someone to talk to you once a week, to check on you, to let you know you're there. So I want all the girls to know, not just my girls, but any girl out there, that it's most important to find that mentor, that guide in your life. And it's really, to me, it's someone outside your family. I know we have some wonderful mothers and fathers out here, but sometimes just having another adult that you trust and you admire to help coach you, it's just so inspirational. And you would just, it'll make a difference in your life, each side giving back and giving and receiving amongst each other.
Mm-hmm. So what do you hope that she believes about herself that she may not believe today?
Confidence. I hope that she gains confidence in herself, knowing that she is beautiful, knowing that she is loved, and knowing that she can do it. Things are difficult. And so whatever level you're sitting at, a lot of times we don't look at ourselves in the mirror as being confident and beautiful. It can be successful. You can be. And you do not have to be an influencer. You do not have to be on the screen all the time to be considered beautiful. Be beautiful in your own ways, in your own, what God has given you, your heart. Come from your heart.
I love that. I love that. So, if you could solve one problem affecting women and girls tomorrow, what would it be and why?
I would solve the problem with mental health awareness and really being able to have these conversations about how you're feeling. Depression is very real in both of those areas, and I would probably try to solve it by having as much access and education out there. Suicide is still on the rise. I hear about it all the time. I lost a recent sorority sister to suicide, and looking at her, you would have never thought she was going through that. But the way she chose to do it with her letter out to the public out in Facebook, and just said, for my own words, this really impacted all of us here and let us know that people aren't okay. People aren't okay, and they're not saying that they're not okay. And even though they smile and they look pretty and they show up, but you just don't know what it's taken for them to even get out of the bed. That they're not wanting to harm themselves. So for me, mental health awareness and advocacy for that, and making sure we all have access to a therapist or whatever you need will be something that something I would solve if I could, but by myself. But I'm working on it. It's very important to me. Someone who is also living with anxiety and depression myself, those things are on the forefront, and so that's the issue that I would attack.
Yeah. It's a lot of times it's some of the strongest people because we keep everything so silent. A lot
Yes.
of times people don't know that that we're going through that,
Stop,
like
stop,
going
yeah.
through something.
And if you look at my logo, it's really me in the middle. I used to wear my hair in a bun. I have my ponytail today,
Mm-hmm.
but I usually have my hand. That is actually me and my logo holding up the world. And so when I came up with Rhonda's Promise, I actually designed that with the graphic designer of my hands and then me standing in the world holding it up, because that's what I think my charge is, to leave this world a better place than I found it.
I love that. So, okay. So, if every listener woke up tomorrow and lived one lesson you've learned through 32 years of service, what would have the greatest impact on their life?
Say it one more time.
If every listener woke up tomorrow and lived one lesson you've learned through 32 years of service, what would have the greatest impact on their life?
Not
One lesson,
sweating.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
not sweating the
lesson.
small stuff, I think. Not
Okay.
sweating the small stuff, getting in your head. Like I said, I started Rhonda's Promise in my 50s. If I was stronger, I could have started this in my 30s and have been able to be a greater impact. But fear kept me away. I even stepped out originally in 2021 and did not go full time with doing this until 24 because I kept stepping into something else. I kept running from the purpose that God gave me until finally He said, you're not going to be successful anything else until you do what I asked you to do." And I stepped out and resigned from my over 6-figure job and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And I haven't looked back since. And
That's
so
great.
that's what I would tell people. Don't sweat the small stuff and get out of your head.
And get out of your comfort zone.
Yes, yes,
Right? Because you had to do that.
yes.
So,
yes.
how can people find you and get in touch with you and stuff like that and get some more information, or if they want to donate? And we'll put your links in the bio as well, so in the description.
All right. Well, they can find me personally at info@rondaspromise.org. And we are also have a great website, which is rondaspromise.org. And we're on social media which is Facebook. We're on Instagram and we're on LinkedIn. And so they can find us that way, and they can call me. I'm a phone call away. I put my phone number out there all the time, so you can reach me at 561-312-0539. And our donation button is there on our website. And I am asking for everyone to please consider supporting us. We have 4 program areas, and you can donate by program or you can do a general donation. And of course, we're looking for sponsorships for our 5th anniversary.
Okay, that's
And
awesome.
thank you so much, Jacqueline, for this
Yeah,
time.
of course.
Small world. My mother, her name is Jacqueline, and
Oh,
she's
really?
with us. But you give me great energy, and I thank God for bringing us together and
Yeah.
allowing me to have opportunity.
Let me just ask you one last question because I'm just curious. Rhonda's Promise, like, how did you come with that? Obviously, Rhonda's your name, right?
Right.
That
Right.
promise too.
Yeah. So what happened is when I took my first CEO position, I inherited over 23 staff, and they were kind of separate in different places. And as any good CEO should do, when they come into the organization, I met with everyone and kind of found out what's working for them and what's not working for them. And so when it was time for us, we had a senior group as well. We had a teen group as well. And I wanted to offer a scholarship for our high school seniors who were graduating. And the program chair said, we're coming up with names. And she said, what about Rhonda's Promise? She said, because Miss Rhonda, since you've been here 5 years, you've kept every one of your promises to us as staff. And that just touched my heart. And so when I decided to resign from the organization, and I thought about it, and I went in my prayer corner asking God, and that's the name He gave me. He said, remember, they told you, you kept every one of your promises. So that is our name, Rhonda's Promise. And my tagline is keeping our promise.
I love that. I love that. Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Okay. All right. All right, Rhonda, thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to chatting with you again soon. Okay.
Thank you. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Yep. Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Everyone, thank you so much for hopping on to another You Are Loved podcast. Please check us out at youareloved.store for any of our books and our programs. And if you'd like us to bring one of our children's or one of one program or a Vision to a Journey teen journal to your city, reach out and hit us up on our website, youareloved.store. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of You Are Loved. If you have any topic ideas or would like to be a guest on the show, please hit us up on Instagram at youareloved.store.